I think we're on. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, everyone. Listen, guys, this is an urgent warning to people that are in the United Kingdom. It literally is fight or die right now in the United Kingdom. What I'm talking about, guys, a lot of information has come out over the last 24 hours with regards to the United Kingdom. I'm talking grooming gangs. I'm talking Islamist takeover. I'm talking prepare for the worst parts of the Bible hitting the United Kingdom within this time frame right now, guys. Before this parliament's over, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to see what we're talking about. So look, guys, listen, there is no way out now. There's no way out. I've been telling you guys, let me take these off. I've been telling people to get out of the United Kingdom, get out if you can, go leave, go wherever you can, because what's coming to the United Kingdom is not good. We have, and it's clear to see, guys, we have a full Islamic jihad takeover of the United Kingdom. It's there. You can see it. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't think I'm right, if you want to say, oh, Sean, but this is just a little minority and they just, those little rapey gangs, the rape gangs, they're just a tiny minority. Every town, city, location in the United Kingdom does look like it has a little, who's your local rape gang? Oh, they're over there. Look, they're over there. They're in that chicken shop. That's what it's like living in the United Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, look, guys, all these things are happening right now. Consequently, we are seeing a rise of Anglo-Saxons, and it brings me back to that poem that I, the poem that I read to you guys a while ago. Somebody remind me when we jump over to YouTube, guys, and I will read that poem again. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we are on. That's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about the Islamist takeover of the United Kingdom. Look, guys. The title of this live stream is Fight or Die. And I'm sloping my shoulders here, guys. I'm sloping my shoulders. I'm just giving you guys this because that's what Elon Musk said. So if anybody from the government's watching, take that phrase up with Elon Musk. It's not my phrase, guys. That's Elon Musk's phrase. Go take it up with him. All right, go take it up with him. And good luck. And good luck taking it up with good old Uncle Elon. But listen, guys, if you live in the United Kingdom, the gangs, the grooming gangs, it's just constant at your face. You just want to get off. You just want to get over it. Earlier on in the live stream, ladies and gentlemen, I started to tell you guys a story. I forgot I didn't end that story. Now, do you know what, guys? This may get the live stream banned on TikTok. Do I care? Absolutely not, guys. I don't care if this gets banned on TikTok. Let me just take the keys out of my pocket because that's really painful. Earlier on in the live stream, guys, I started to talk to you guys about a story. And I started to say, who are the Anglo-Saxons? Who has Anglo-Saxon blood running through their veins? And there's it's very easy. It's very easy to see who has Anglo-Saxon blood running through their veins. And I'll give you guys an example right now of Anglo-Saxon bloodlines. I was in Iraq in 2000 and again, call it 2011. It might not have been. It might have been 2012. It might be 2010. I don't know. Around that time, 2011, I'm going to say. We was in Iraq in 2011. We were working for the British Embassy, but we were living outside the British Embassy. Anyway, one night, the internet went off. Like nobody could get an internet signal, and everybody was like, "Oh, what's going on here? The internet's gone off." And then it was like, "All right." Phone, what was his name? Rafid or something. I can't remember the internet guy's name. He was one of the locals. So somebody's like, "All right, phone the internet guy. He'll come out and he'll sort it out." That's weird. We haven't got a phone signal, mate. Have you got a phone signal? No. Nobody had phone signals. So then we tried on the radio. Because we had radios to our various locations. No radio comms either. So straight away, within like 20 minutes, we realized very quickly all our communications had been taken out. All our communications had been taken out. We had no way of calling for help. That started to get alarm bells ringing. Next thing we knew, we heard the I don't know. Look, guys, I don't know if anybody's ever heard tank tracks. It's a terrifying sound, especially when you're on the receiving end. It's like it's like this metal grinding sound. We all started hearing tank trash, like, what the fuck is happening? So we all ran up onto the roof, and honestly, guys, you would not believe the scene. The whole, there was Iraqi army everywhere, just saturating the ground. There were T-54s, T-72, is it 72s? T-72s, yeah. T-54, 55s, T-72 tanks rolling around and stopping all the entry points. This was real, guys. This really happened. This really happened to me and the guys. So the T-72s were blocking entry points, blocking the roads, literally just coming in, blocking the points. And then their main turret was going, and it was pointing at the buildings. So imagine the scene now, guys, all right? I'm there. I work for the British Embassy. The British Embassy is maybe 500, 600 meters away. We could see the British Embassy. We could see the British Embassy with our eyes. We could see it. We couldn't get in contact with them because the Iraqi army had cut all our communications. They'd cut our phone. They'd cut our internet. They'd cut our radio signal. Probably, with a kit and equipment that the British gave them as a gift. Anyway, the next thing, all these trucks started to turn up, and Iraqi soldiers just started getting off with their M16 rifles. They were going house to house clearance. Anyway, our local guards, our Iraqi guards, straight away took their t-shirts off and they ran off. They ran off. They were like, yeah, we're not playing with this game. And this is how you separate the wheat from the chaff. This is how you separate the men from the boys. This is how you separate the Anglo-Saxons, those people who've got Anglo-Saxon blood running through their veins, absolutely running through their veins. And that Anglo-Saxon blood, all it's going to take is a little bit of a spark, and those Anglo-Saxons are going to be back, guys. Those Anglo-Saxons will be back. Be under no illusion, guys. These Anglo-Saxons are coming back. And by Anglo-Saxon, I mean the Anglosphere. So I'm talking Britain, I'm talking America, I'm talking Canada, I'm talking Australia, I'm talking the Western European Anglosphere. Basically, if you're white and you speak English, you're part of this club, guys. You're part of this club. So this really happened, guys. I promise you, this really happened. So, and anybody who was in Iraq, in Baghdad at that time, you guys will know exactly the same. So, straight away, myself, the rest of the airborne forces guys, because there was a lot of ex-parachute regiment guys on that contract, we were all up on the roof with our rifles, and then we were like, right, look, guys, we know bad things happen in Iraq, certainly in Baghdad. So what happened, and we had 2 Americans with us, and there was 8 of us. All right? We didn't care. And this is what separates Anglo-Saxons from other people. Any other nationality, and this is where I'm probably going to get blocked, guys. So listen, guys, if I get blocked on TikTok, go over to YouTube. The Anglo-Saxon blood that was running through our veins, anybody that was on that contract, guys, we had a lot of Eastern Europeans. They were on the roof. They were scared. They were writing their last will. They were writing their last testament. Oh no, we're going to get overrun. The Anglo-Saxons, the British guys and the Americans, no. We started on the roof, but we thought, you know what? If we're going to go, we are going to go fighting. And that's what we said. This is real, guys. We said, right, guys, look, I'm not going to get taken. Under no circumstances am I going to get taken alive. Not a chance. These guys want to come? Yeah, there might be 300 of them. There might be 300. They've got heavy machine guns, belt-fed machine guns. They've got tanks. We are vastly outnumbered. But you know what? That is a bad day for those guys. And nobody in that 8 men that we were in, not one of us actually thought that we were going to get hurt. We all knew that we would fight our way through that. So as the night progressed, you've got the Iraqi army now going door to door searching. And we didn't know what was happening, guys. We didn't know what was happening. What we said is, if those gates open or we hear gunfire, what we're going to do, we're going to wrap those gates open and we're just going to start shooting. We are going to shoot our way to the British Embassy. For anybody who's ever worked in Baghdad, the British embassy it was made so that there was like a sterile area that anyone could walk in, which would be on British soil, because British embassies are part of British soil and they get sovereignty. All embassies do. But you couldn't get into the embassy. So our initial plan was to blast the doors open, shoot our way through the 300 Iraqi soldiers, destroy the tanks, take control of the heavy machine guns, use it against the bad guys, and fight our way to the British embassy. For whatever reason, if we couldn't make it to the British embassy, we were going to fight our way to the American embassy because we had Americans with us. And that was the reality, guys. That was the reality. You know, that was that scenario. And the reason I'm saying this to you guys, any other nationality that did not have Anglo-Saxon blood running through their veins, they would curl up and cry. They will curl up and cry. They will want to down weapons. They will want to surrender. They will want to do whatever to appease people. Not the Anglo-Saxons, guys. Not the Anglo-Saxons. Those Anglo-Saxons in a foreign country, vastly outnumbered. And I mean vastly outnumbered. There was like 8 of us. Like, looking back now, looking back on this scenario right now, like, we would have been killed. Absolutely, we would have been killed. All of us. We would have all been killed. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that mentality. That mentality where you don't believe you're going to die. You believe that those 300 motherfuckers, those are all going to be the ones going home in body bags. And you're, between the 8 of you, you're going to take control of those tanks, take control of those heavy machine guns, and you're going to be riding through Baghdad. Like the all singing, all dancing civilian contractors, like we used to roll, guys, as civilian contractors. But those days are gone, guys. Those days are gone. And here I am in the United Kingdom. I just wanted to get that out, guys. I just wanted to get that out, you know. And this is the difference. I mean, you guys, I told you what our Iraqis did, our local Iraqis who we were paying as security. They just ran off. They just ran off. Straight away, they ran off. You know, there's no other nation. There's no other bloodline. I'm talking about bloodlines here, guys, not nationalities. I'm talking about bloodlines. Bloodlines is important. There's no other bloodline, I believe, that would have had the audacity, the raw arrogance and self-belief that 8 people, oh, guys, honestly, I promise you, you know, when you're looking at people, and you're like, well, you know, so we had mostly the guys that were about to blast the gate, we were ex-parachute regiment and US Marines. That's we were going to blast that gate, guys. We were going to blast that gate. We were going to go out shooting straight away. We'd all said to each other, under no circumstances are we getting taken alive. Under no circumstances were we going to get taken alive. But looking back on this now and thinking, like, the raw arrogance, narcissism, and absolute self-belief, you don't get that anywhere else, guys. You don't get that. You don't. I've worked in militaries all over the world, guys. You don't get that. If this would have been Sierra Leone, if I'd have been with a load of Sierra Leone troops, they'd have been straight surrendering. Like, you know, lots of African military. You know, I may get blocked. Guys, if I get blocked on YouTube, jump over to, if I get blocked on TikTok, guys, jump over to YouTube. You know, a lot of African nations straight away surrender. And it's very difficult to try and articulate this. That self-belief where you're facing overwhelming odds. Overwhelming. I mean, there must have been 300 Iraqis. Tanks, belt-fed machine guns, heavy machine guns. But what I'm getting at is that mindset where, and he sounds crazy right now, but when we were talking to each other, we as far as we were concerned, they were on the back foot. As far as we were concerned, they were the ones going home in body bags. The reality was, we'd have probably broke out the gate. We'd have took a few of them out. As soon as the heavy machine guns and the armor started firing on us, it'd have been game over. And that's the reality. But the mindset, that's what I'm talking about, guys. That's what separates us from them. That's what separates us from them. And I'm talking about Anglo-Saxons. If you're white and you speak English, the likelihood is that you've got Anglo-Saxon blood in you. Whether you live in America, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, doesn't matter. You know, that is the reality of the situation, guys, okay? And it's that mindset. It's that mindset. It's that expansionist mindset. I want to go over there and I want to go over there. I want to go to that country and I want to explore that country. I want to be out there on my own with the snow in my face. And I want to have limited supplies and I want to be trudging forwards and I want to find new worlds. What do the rest of what other cultures do that? There isn't one. There's no other culture that does that. I mean, what does Islam teach you? What does Islam teach you? The Muslim culture will say, that Allah has blessed us and we're just going to stay here and marry our cousins. Let them white men go over there and explore, man. Let them explore. We will stay here. We will stay. It is written in the hadith, or something like that, and like, it's only that Anglo-Saxon drive, mentality, stubbornness, an absolute refusal to even admit defeat. And it doesn't anyway, guys, right, that's what we're talking about today, ladies and gentlemen. So let's like, comment, share, subscribe. Am I still on TikTok? I'm still on TikTok, guys. I've not had a warning, so I've been using my words right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get on to this now, guys. Okay, so we are in a fight or die situation in the United Kingdom, guys. We are in a fight or die situation in the United Kingdom. And if anybody wants to Lucy Conley me, that's what Elon Musk said. So I'm just repeating Elon Musk. Now we have it right, guys. You know how before, how I give that scenario. Well, it's become real now. It's become real. You know how I give you guys that scenario whereby somebody tell me what scenario I give you, whereby if there's a law passed in the, look, guys, this is real now. This is not me giving a scenario. This is real. So I give you guys a scenario. I give you guys a scenario where I say if the government of the United Kingdom passed a law that said every firstborn child is to be given to the government, and you guys know where I'm going with that. Well, it turns out there's a real life scenario that may or may not be relevant. So here's the real life scenario, guys. Well, look, guys, this is hypothetical. What I'm about to say has no relevance and it's for entertainment purposes only. But let's just pretend. Guys, I want your comments on this right now. I need your comments. I can feel your comments. Let's just say, for argument's sake, hypothetical scenario, guys. Let's just say that a mayor of a big city in the United Kingdom was what evidence came out against that mayor that he was covering up systematic rape of young white girls. Let's just say, let's pretend that happened, because obviously that had never happened, but let's pretend that did happen, all right? Let's pretend that did happen. And in that context, let's pretend that mayor, after all that evidence is out, and they're like, listen, mate, we've got evidence here. You've been covering this up. You have clearly been covering this up. That this is without doubt. You, again, hypothetical, guys, for entertainment purposes only. Obviously, what I'm saying is just hypothetical. You, good sir, maybe he's a sir. I don't know. Maybe he's been knighted by the king or queen, whatever it was. You, good sir, have been caught covering up rape of young white girls. Not just rape, where gangs of men drug, use, pass around, sexually abuse young white girls. Let's just, for a hypothetical scenario, guys, hypothetical scenario. Let's just say that's happened. That did happen, or it would happen. And that mayor said, yeah, I'm not going to resign. No, you're all wrong. I'm not going to resign. I'm going to stay here. I kind of like the benefits I get. Let's just say he stays. And then the next election, let's just say that at the next election, he wins again. Where do we go with that? Because here in the United Kingdom, we have no legal framework to oppose a tyrannical government. So we just have to take it. I promise you guys, if that ever did happen, and of course that would never happen, would it? Of course that would never happen. This is just a wild hypothetical. What? Eh? Oh, it did. Oh, I don't know. But this is a wild hypothetical scenario, right, guys? While I'm on TikTok, this is a wild hypothetical scenario. So let's just say that information does come out. That person doesn't resign. They win the next election. Where do we go from that as a country? Where is the legal framework for people to say, and I'm not talking about people in that city now, because those people in that city are clearly pro-rape. They're like, yeah, we just love a good bit of rape, we do. We love getting these white girls and we love gang raping them. This is how we roll in this city. We voted for a mayor because he looks after us. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is a hypothetical scenario. This is totally hypothetical. This is hypothetical, all right? I'm just giving you guys a wild scenario to show you guys how here in the United Kingdom we have no legal framework to oppose a tyrannical government or a tyrannical governmental system. And that's the reality. If somebody can tell me the legal system, if somebody can tell me the legal system that we have in the United Kingdom where we could, for whatever reason, I don't know, let's just say Doncaster. I always pick on Doncaster. Let's not use Doncaster. Let's say Hartlepool. Let's say Hartlepool had a mayor, and that mayor was a real bad guy. He was a criminal. He was doing bad stuff. People kept voting for him. How would the people of Newcastle think, hang on a minute, there's some bad shit going off in Hartlepool. We need to sort this shit out. There's no legal framework, guys. There's no legal framework. Absolutely no legal framework. None at all. So that's what we're talking about this evening, guys. Oh, one more thing. Do you know what, guys? I'm going to go slightly off topic for a second. You know how a couple of days ago, maybe even yesterday, I don't know, maybe yesterday or the day before, I was talking about the United States intervention in Gaza. Can you guys remember that video I did? I was talking about US intervention, boots on the ground in Gaza, US boots on the ground in Gaza. Well, check out this little speech from Donald Trump, which was today. So check out this speech today from Donald Trump.
The first time ever, we made a deal with Hamas that they're going to be very good, they're going to behave, they're going to be nice, and if they're not, we're going to go in, we're going to eradicate them if we have to. They'll be eradicated, and they know that. So they went in, and I don't believe it was the leadership, but they had some rebellion in there among themselves, and they killed some people, a lot of people. But this is a violent group. You know, you probably noticed over the last 100 years, this is a very violent group of people. And they got very rambunctious, and they did things that they shouldn't be doing. And if they keep doing it.
Listen, guys, listen to this. This is what I said 2 days ago. 2 days ago, I did a live stream and I was talking about this. Listen to the words he uses. I'm not saying Donald Trump's watching my videos, but Donald Trump's watching my videos.
And then we're going to go in and straighten it out, and it'll happen very quickly and pretty violently.
So Donald Trump is saying if they don't sort their shit out in Gaza, the United States will go in, it will happen quickly, and it will happen violently. Guys, I said this would happen. Donald Trump is agreeing with me now. I don't write US foreign policy, guys. I really don't. Right, real quick. Michael over on TikTok is saying, common law, Magna Carta, British Constitution. Right, look, guys. Michael, hang on, let me get this. Right, where's Michael gone? Michael, where are you? Right, there we are. Right, let me pin that again. I saw that comment. So Michael over on TikTok is saying, I was saying, what do we have to oppose a tyrannical government? We don't have any legal framework. And Michael is saying common law, Magna Carta, English Constitution. So first of all, we don't have a constitution. We don't. Just like strike that off. We do not have a constitution. If we do, where is it written? Where can I see it? And where are the interpretations? So tell me that, and then I'll accept we have a British, English or British constitution. We don't have a constitution in the United Kingdom, guys. We do not. We have a series of documents that make up the constitution, but those documents are massively interpreted differently between different legal companies. We have the Magna Carta. Guys, the Magna Carta is no legal, it's nothing. It means nothing. I promise you guys, the Magna Carta was written to protect wealthy landowners. So unless you're a wealthy landowner and you want to pay with turnips, then you're done. You're done. And common law. Okay, so we have common law. Tell me where common law helped Lucy Conley. Tell me where common law helped Peter Lynch. Tell me where common law stopped the man who shouted at a dog getting 2 years in prison, 20 months, in prison. Tell me how any of these things help. They don't. We have nothing. Trust me, guys. Trust me. I've looked into this a lot. We have no legal framework. The only thing we can do is vote. You know, oh, right, okay, I'm going to vote. Right, well, how's that turning out, guys? How are those votes turning out for us, guys? How are those votes turning out for us? Right, ladies and gentlemen, so it turns out I'm just right about everything. And in that context, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching on YouTube, the buttons are down there in one of those. I think they're round there somewhere if you're watching on YouTube. If you guys are watching on TikTok, they're like up here somewhere. And if you guys, are we streaming on X? Yes, we're streaming on X. And if you guys aren't watching on X, then of course the buttons are like up the top. Anyway, guys, right, let's jump forwards because it does look like mainstream media in the United Kingdom is now calling for mass deportations of Islam from the United Kingdom. I don't know if this will ever happen. This is an article from, I'm just going to play this, guys.
It seems to me like there is an organised takeover of our political system underway by sectarians.
Every second I'm wearing it, you know, that is my jihad. And if I'm out...
Hang on a minute. So, Freddie, guys, this may change. This live stream may change right now. Freddie, I've just seen this pop up on YouTube, guys. Freddie over on YouTube is saying, UK ready to spend over 100 million on possible deployment of British troops to Ukraine. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you're not following me now, like, why not? I'm telling you stuff that's going to happen. 3, 6, 12 months in the future. I am. I guys, I know this stuff out of the bag. Let me just Google this. Wow. Yeah, we're here, guys. 17 minutes ago. Jesus Christ. Guys, I need to close this down. I need to close this live stream down and come back on. Guys, we may be here for a long night. You guys, 100%. Okay, so this is from Sky News now. Thank you for putting me onto that, Freddie. Really do appreciate that, mate. UK ready to spend well over 100 million on possible deployment of British troops to the Ukraine. Wow. In a lecture at London's Mansion House, John Healey also said Vladimir Putin views Britain as his #1 enemy. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, how many times have I been telling you this is coming? Let's be honest. Let's just be honest with ourselves. I've not faltered. I've not gone with the mainstream. I've not gone with any fandango, swizzly dizzlies. You know when everybody was talking about peace deals, I've said, no, it's bullshit. We are heading to a global conflict on an industrial scale. I promise you. We are heading to, and I keep going back to this every time I say this. I keep going back to this thing, the Nostradamus video that says 2025, Britain will be fighting an internal enemy and an external enemy. Here we are, guys, in 2025, fighting an internal Islamist takeover and a Russian assault on Eastern Europe. And as he's saying here, Vladimir Putin views Britain as his #1 enemy. Of course he does. Of course he does. And that the world was entering a new era of threat. I'm going to read this, guys. This is from Deborah Haynes. I don't know what I'm just going to read it. Guys, listen, guys, I'm getting this. This is breaking news from 17 minutes ago. The United Kingdom is ready to spend well over 100, and it will be a lot. I mean, we're talking about trillions, guys. We're talking about trillions. This is going to be trillions. Forget 100 million. That's ridiculous. Like, that's actually offensive. Like, I've been on special forces operations that have come close to that. 100 million is nothing. It's nothing. The UK is ready to spend 100 million on possible deployment of British forces to Ukraine if Donald Trump secures a peace deal with Russia. Guys, look, this is how it's going to roll. This is how it's going to work. A peace deal may or may not be secured. British forces, British boots on the ground, and then the peace deal finishes. You see how that works? You see how that works, guys? Can you see how that works? Look, guys, I don't care what anyone else is saying. Other people, when they do videos, other people look at information that other people are saying, mainly people like me. I'm saying, and I've always said, we are heading towards a global conflict on an industrial scale. Go back to my videos, guys. Go back to my early videos on YouTube. The United Kingdom is going to take the lead role in Ukraine against the Russians. The United States are going to go into the Middle East. Remember the video I just showed you guys, like, what, a couple of minutes ago? Donald Trump saying, we're going to go in hard, we're going to go in fast, and we're going to go in violent. That is how you do war. That is how you do war, guys. You don't do any war. You don't do war any differently to hard, fast, and violent. That's how you win wars. You don't win wars by going in there soft. You're not going to get the job done. I'm reading this off Sky News, guys. This is breaking news. Guys, I really think I need to close this down now and just go straight back onto another live stream. I think I do, guys. I think I need to close this down and come onto another live stream. I think I do. I'll read this, guy. Do you know what, guys? Let me get to the end of this. I'll read it. I don't know whether I need to do a new live stream. So the UK is ready to spend well over £100 million. Again, that number, £100 million. That's nothing. I would say this figure is going to be in the trillions. And I mean that, guys, by understanding I mean, once ammunition starts to get used and drones start to fall out of the sky and aircraft start to get shot down, it comes into the trillions, guys. It really does. So John Healey also said Vladimir Putin views Britain as his #1 enemy because of the support for Ukraine. So there we have it, guys. You judge yourself by the enemies that you keep. The Defence Secretary's plan includes the preparation of military personnel to join a multinational force that would be sent to help secure Ukraine's borders if the US president brokers a ceasefire. Never going to happen, never going to happen, never going to happen. Look, guys, I don't know if John Healey understands what he's talking about or whether he's just been told what to say. Look, guys, when we're talking about Ukraine, if people who are talking about Ukraine say anything differently to what I'm saying, they're wrong. They are wrong. And I will say that with a high degree of certainty. Like, if people are talking about Eastern Europe, if people are trying to understand what's going on out there, if they say anything different to me, they're wrong. That's just the reality. So this plan includes preparation of military personnel to join a multinational force that would be sent to help secure Ukraine's borders. What borders? Mr. Healey signalled that British troops could be ready to deploy as soon as that happened, and he said this will include soldiers on the ground. Some of the anticipated money to prepare for any mission is already being spent. The Defence Secretary warned of a new era of threat and said the risk of wider conflict in Europe has not been as great since the end of it. And he's right, guys. He's right. And we are going to get dragged into it, guys. Remember, I promise you, guys, we are going to get dragged into it. And look, guys, I've been right about everything. I have. I've been right about absolutely everything. And I'm right about this as well. NATO, without the United States, cannot defeat Russia. That's my speculation, analysis, and opinion. NATO, without the United States, cannot defeat Russia. The numbers don't add up, guys. The numbers do not add up. That's the reality. Anybody who says anything differently, they're wrong. Whether they're a general, colonel, brigadier, vice marshal, I don't know what rank these people are. Whatever they're saying, they are wrong. I'm right. You mark this video, guys. Mark this video, come back to it. You know, I am right. Thank you for putting me onto that, Freddie. So it does look like British boots on the ground are getting ready. I'm 50-50 now, guys. I don't know whether to close this live stream down and jump back on and get another live stream and start another live stream with boots on the ground, or maybe lead with that tomorrow. Yo, guys, we'll continue. We will continue. We will indeed continue. Right, I'll continue with this video, guys, from GB News. So GB News are now calling for mass deportations of Islam from the United Kingdom. I'll just let this video play a little bit.
I've spoken for it, then I could be part of.
So basically, there's an interview right now, and they're showing this interview, and there's a woman with a hijab, and she's saying, yes, me wearing this hijab is my jihad against Britain. That's what she's saying. So I don't know if this is reflected between all Muslims. I would suspect not, but that this is happening. You know, what she's saying is her wearing that hijab is a jihad against Britain.
But if that wasn't enough, of course, it was deemed perfectly acceptable by them to raise foreign flags over buildings owned by and paid for by British taxpayers.
Yeah, so now we've got these foreign flags, Pakistani flags, you know, like the Pakistanis, they're so grateful that they got rid of the British rule. They all come and live in Britain. What's that all about? I don't even know what this guy's saying.
Of course, that's Birmingham City Council there, who we know hate seeing the Union Jack and St George's Cross being flown across their city. But when it comes to the foreign flags used to, I think, stoke division and in many cases anti-Semitism being taken down, they are furious about it.
Anybody want to remove Palestine flags from Birmingham City? Tomorrow, I want you to come out in numbers on election day and show these leaders and the establishment that Birmingham will always stand with Palestine.
As British people who have English as their first language have left these areas due to mass immigration, what's the point of the Lord Mayor of Rotherham addressing the room in English, eh?
Did you see this, guys? Do you guys understand how fucking far gone we are? Do you have any idea how far gone we are right now with the Islamification of Britain? Have you any idea? The Lord Mayor of Rotherham, which is a Pakistani lady, she claims to be a Pakistani lady. She got the vote. She doesn't bother speaking in English. Why would she bother speaking in English? She just speaks Pakistani to everyone. You think I'm lying? I'm not. Listen.
And despite being in a majority white British country, some seem to have a severe problem with too many white people being in positions of power.
The Lord President, white. The Lord Justice Clerk, white. Every High Court judge, white. The Lord Advocate, white.
In some areas, entire towns are not even recognisably English anymore.
Tell me, Ilford is basically Lahore, bro. And I just looks like Lahore. I'm not even joking. Like, I think that's London about it's not even that though.
Yeah, everyone can see it, can't they? And Robert Jerry gets in trouble for saying things like that, but everyone can see it with their own two eyes. And celebrations of Pakistani independence from Britain, of course, the country many of these people now choose to call home, dominate the streets every year. Even Pakistani people are embarrassed by the state of it after the celebrations have taken place.
So, for context, guys, what he's showing now is like the streets where these celebrations have happened, and there's just shit everywhere. I mean, it does look a little bit like Pakistan, but the writing on the bin says litter, and it's in English.
And scenes like this one taking place in our capital genuinely send a chill down my spine.
So, just for context, guys, there is a load of they look like Muslim children, and they're like doing a mass prayer or something in London.
You'd be forgiven thinking that was London, wouldn't you? This is not integration. This is not assimilation. This isn't even diversity. It is a new monoculture being imported into Britain en masse, isn't it? Let's get real. It's now becoming exceptionally clear that there is, in my strong opinion, a takeover of our political system.
I'm going to stop it there, guys. So I'm going to repeat what he just said. In his opinion, so this is not my opinion. This is the guy on GB News now. So anybody wants to take this up with me, I'm just repeating what they said on GB News, all right? So I don't think I can get Lucy Conlid by saying what somebody said on a mainstream media outlet. So what he's saying is, in his strong opinion, this is not a simulation. This is a takeover. This is a takeover. A political takeover.
Year by year, with more sectarians seizing control of elected positions up and down the country than at any point in our history. We have got to have a serious, and I mean serious, national discussion, no matter how politically offensive it may be, about mass deportations and ending mass immigration to Britain from countries that have no cultural ties to our way of life. It is not racist to say that scenes I've just shown you do not look or sound like places in Britain or have a place in our country. It is simply a true observation of the facts that many British people from all backgrounds will share. If we do not stop this experiment and reverse it, I believe Britain as we know will cease to exist. It seems to me.
So I'm going to leave it there, guys. And what I am going to say is I'm going to go right back to the beginning of this video, and I'm going to remind you guys what Elon Musk said. Fight or die. That's what Elon Musk said, not me, guys. I'm sloping my shoulders. I did pretty well at that in the army. Walk around with a nominal role, pretend you're on a job and you'll never get extra work. Look, guys, it does look like this takeover is in, like, and people need to wake up to what's happening. Like, you know, in Rotherham, what's Rotherham famous for, guys? I don't know. What's Rotherham famous for? David Seaman? So in Rotherham, we now have a Pakistani Muslim mayor who doesn't even give speeches anymore in English. She just speaks Pakistani. That's the reality. I welcome it, guys. I welcome it. I'm all for diversity. I'm so woke. I think I feel bad that I don't understand that dialect of Arabic. I do. I feel bad. Where does this go, guys? Where does this go? Like I said, you know, we're not the same. We're not the same, guys. I promise you, we're not the same. All men are born equal. I don't know where that came from. I'm not sure where that came from. I don't think all men are born equal. I think all men are born. Absolutely, I think all men are born. But some are more equal than others. Some are more equal than others. Can you imagine, right? You know this, I don't know if you guys don't. Can you imagine the scenario I gave you earlier? There's me, 6 ex-parachute regiment operators, 2 ex-US Marines, and we're ready to go and fight. We were ready. We were ready to go and fight like maybe 300 Iraqi soldiers. They had tanks, heavy machine guns, belt-fed machine guns. Can you imagine the scenario if I'd have been there and I had a full Pakistani team? Maybe it'd have been a little bit different. Maybe it'd have been a bit different. I think it would have. We're not the same, guys. We're not the same. We're not the same. I don't know anyone. I don't know any men. And I know a lot of men. I do. I know a lot of men. I know a lot of men. I don't know any men who would take any pleasure in drugging up a white or a brown girl, I guess, in this context, you know, and gang raping her. I don't know. I don't know anybody. I don't. It seems like some communities know a lot of these people, and it seems like in some communities this is rife. And this is what we're importing, guys. Every day we are importing this. More and more of these people are coming to our shows, guys. More and more of these people are coming to our shows. The battle is coming, guys. The battle is coming. There's no way out now. I'm sorry. There is no way out. What by battle? Look, guys, I'll be quite clear. I've always said, and I will always say, there needs to be a framework, a legal framework, to oppose a tyrannical government. You know, there needs to be a legal framework where the like people in Britain can oppose a tyrannical government, and we don't have that. We do not have that. No, the Magna Carta gives no protection. Common law gives no protection. Go and ask Lucy Conley if common law gave her protection. You know, the English Constitution, as some people are saying that we don't have a, guys. I promise you, we don't have a constitution. The Americans, they have a constitution. You know, they can cite the Constitution. It's taught in schools. The reason it's taught in schools is so there is no question over its interpretation. What does this clause mean? That clause means this. All right, okay, we understand that. In the United Kingdom, in Britain, we have a series of documents that form the British Constitution. But trust me, guys, those can be manipulated and interpreted. Is that a word? Do you know what, guys? It's my birthright. I am a fully qualified English gentleman. You can't trace my heritage back to the 11th century in this beautiful country. And it's my birthright to make up words. So if that's a word, then it is now. I don't know if it was, but it certainly is now. Right, listen, guys, I'm just conscious of the time. I'm going to be closing this down on YouTube. Sorry, not on YouTube. I'm going to be closing this down on TikTok. I'm then going to be jumping over to YouTube. I will be on YouTube, guys. I'm going to continue to stream on YouTube. I'm still 50-50. I don't know whether I'm going to go on to British Boots on the Ground in Ukraine or whether we're going to continue this. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I may be doing 2 live streams tonight. Dave Bry 70 is saying, hang on, let me finish. Dave Bry 70 is saying, don't ever fight for politicians' wars. You see, they have us here. You know, they have us here by the absolute swizzlers. I had a Ukrainian man. Not like Keir Starmer had a Ukrainian man. I had a Ukrainian man talking to me. And he was close to tears. And he was saying, Sean, why are there so many British people coming over here to fight for us? Because they were in 2022, guys, there were like thousands of British soldiers going out to ex-British soldiers going out to Ukraine to fight. Thousands. And this guy, I didn't have an answer for him. And this is what I'm talking about, guys. The Anglo-Saxon blood. That Anglo-Saxon blood that fills our veins. I did have an answer for him, but it wasn't I'll get you guys will see where I'm going. So this guy, he was close to tears. He was saying, Sean, why are the British coming over here to help us? If there was a war in Britain, I wouldn't come and help you. And my answer to him is just, that's what we do. That's all I could answer. And I think that initial answer, was more profound than anything. And I think for this context, that answer is more profound. It's what we do. It's what we do, guys. It's what we do, And of course, people from other nationalities and other cultures, they're peaceful. They just want to marry their cousin and have loads of kids. That's what they want to do. They want to marry their cousins and have loads of kids. Let them idiots go over there and fight them wars. We'll just stay here and marry as cousins and have loads of kids, man. Big up one time. Feeling me, fam. You know, that's the reality, guys. That is the reality. We're not the same. We're not the same. I don't care anymore. I don't care. I don't care, guys. I just want everybody I want everybody out there, and every pet. First of all, I want international investment out the UK. Right, guys, listen, I'm going to close you guys down on TikTok now. I'm going to jump over to YouTube. If you've not followed me, if you don't follow me on YouTube, guys, I'm a Real Raven One on YouTube. I'm going to be over on YouTube for a little bit. We're going to be talking about boots on the ground. In fact, hang on. No. We're going to be talking about boots on the ground in Ukraine. Breaking news from like 30 minutes ago or something. I don't know. Earlier on today, guys, while I was on the live stream, this broke. Looks like the United Kingdom are already spending money to get boots on the ground in Ukraine. When's this going to be? How long's a piece of string, guys? I don't know. It will happen quick, but it will happen quick. What I'm saying is this peace deal is just to get those boots on the ground. Once those boots on the ground, that peace deal will fail and we will be in World War III. Guys, I've been on the money. When it comes to Ukraine, I've been on the money each and every time. I don't even care now. I'm not even going to speculate, analysis, and opinion. If anybody is talking about the conflict in Ukraine and they are saying anything different to me, they're wrong. That's the reality. They're wrong. All right, they are absolutely wrong. If anybody's talking about the British military and they're saying anything different to me, they're wrong. That's the reality, guys. That's the reality. Go check my previous videos, guys. I understand this fear. I understand this fear, guys. I really understand this fear. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be closing you guys down on TikTok. I'll be over on YouTube. I'm a Real Raven 1 on YouTube. I'm a Real Raven 1 on X. But don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not going to join me because you don't want to go over to YouTube for whatever reason, I will be back on tomorrow morning, and we will, I think, tomorrow morning be leading with British boots on the ground in Ukraine. That's what I think we're going to be leading with tomorrow morning, guys. I don't see anything else coming out before then. But anyway, guys, if not, have a great night, and thank you so much, you guys, for hanging out with me. I'll see you on YouTube. I'm going to get a carbonated drink. I'll see you guys tomorrow, or maybe even over on YouTube. We are off, and I'm just with you guys. You feeling me, fam? You feeling me, fam? Where's my fam? Where's my fam rolling at, guys? You feeling me? Right. You know that should be true. Right. Let me jump down, guys. Let me get the back comments. I'm gonna get my keg out of the fridge. Sean, with respect, we are not all Anglo-Saxons. Yes, you are. We are a nation of 4 countries: England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. Guys, like, if you live in the United Kingdom, you are more like, if you're alive now in the United Kingdom, the likelihood that you have Anglo-Saxon blood in you is pretty much like 100%. If you are, if you live in the UK, you speak English and you're white, the likelihood is you've got Anglo-Saxon blood in you. Right, guys, I'm just going to jump over there. I'm going to get my keg. You guys love it when I get my keg out, don't you? You love it when you get my keg out. I'm going to get my keg. I'll jump back and we'll be talking. I think, you know what, guys? We're going to go straight over to Ukraine. Oh. We've got it. We've got it. It's here. It's here. Jesus Christ, look at those arms. Guys, look at the... Jesus Christ. You can tell I've been going to the gym twice a day. Jesus. Can you imagine? Can you imagine those Iraqi soldiers when me and my pipe hitter homies burst out? We've got little t-shirts on and we're rocking shit like it's 2011. Jesus Christ, they'd have no chance. I'm not even lying, guys. You know what? Earlier on, I thought that we'd been mowed down instantly. Right now, I'm just going to say I hope they had a good supply of body bags. Yeah, this has gone too frothy, too frothy. Oh God. Right, I think I'm gonna have to do 2. Right, I'm gonna have to leave that a second because the head on that's gone miles wrong. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are just joining, we are talking now boots on the ground in Ukraine. I've been telling you guys this is coming for such a long time. Breaking news from like a couple of 8:30. UK is ready to spend well over 100 million on possible deployment of British troops to Ukraine. Look, guys, just for context, I'm telling you guys now with 100% certainty, 100 million is a drop in the ocean. It's an absolute drop in the ocean when you're talking about a British boots on the ground deployment into Ukraine. It's a drop in the ocean, guys. It's nothing. Zero, zilch, nothing. This is going to run into trillions, which is a lot. Believe me, it's a lot. So John Healey also said Vladimir Putin views Britain as his #1 enemy. I think we should take that as a feather in our cap, guys. Okay, always judge a person by the enemies they hold. And that the world was entering a new era of threat. And we are, guys. There's nothing wrong with that. The UK, yeah, we've done that. Britain is Vladimir Putin's #1 enemy. The Defense Secretary's plan includes the preparation of military personnel to join a multinational force that would be sent to help secure Ukraine's borders. If the US president brokers a ceasefire, between Moscow and Kiev, Mr. Healy signaled that British troops could be ready to deploy as soon as that happened, he said. This could include soldiers, he said it could include, but it will include soldiers on the ground. So guys, look, we can see the direction of travel right now. This is how it's going to play out. And the way I'm saying this, I'm not saying this should be clickbaity. I'm saying this because I know the situation on the ground. Guys, as a show of hands, who speaks Ukrainian? Who speaks Russian? Who's been operating in Ukraine since 2014? Who's been on the front line in Ukraine? Who understands how the Ukrainian military works? Okay, there we go. Right, okay. I think I get, And you can ask those questions to British politicians. Ask those questions to military analysts. Who spent time in the British military at the highest echelons? So I know all this stuff. I've lived through it. And what I'm saying is the ceasefire will not hold. Cultural differences, guys. Cultural differences. Do you think the Russians are not going to start shooting? Do you think the Ukrainians are not going to return fire? So what are the British troops going to do? Are they going to how are you going to enforce a ceasefire? How do you enforce a ceasefire? Literally, guys, how do you enforce a ceasefire? Stop shooting or we're going to shoot at you. What? What does it make no sense? You can't. It's an oxymoron. It makes no sense. You either have a ceasefire or you don't. You can't enforce a ceasefire. Right? You lot, yeah? You must stop shooting or I will shoot you in the back of the head with a very large caliber pistol. Yes, it is 45. It is 1911. Yes, I tried to get 2011, but budget would not let me. But don't worry, it will still kill you. It doesn't work, guys. Just think about it. It makes no sense. You can't enforce... you can't enforce a ceasefire. Right, let me go down and let me see if there's anything juicy in here, any more information that we can get out of this. Well, here we are. He said it. Well, right, yeah. Okay, right, okay, stop. So earlier, right, guys, I'm reading this for the first time. So earlier when I said this is going to run into the trillions. This is John Healy talking now. Our armed forces are already reviewing readiness levels and accelerating millions of pounds of funding to prepare for any possible deployment to Ukraine. Asked how much money, he said it would be well over 100 million. Yeah, so like well over 100 million is also a trillion. Mr. Healy, Trump returned the UK's support for Ukraine, including a record 4.5 billion in assistance. That is a lot of money, guys. 4.5 billion in assistance this year, and taking over from the United States in chairing the what? So look, guys. You know when I told you? We know when we first started social media and we first started putting these videos out, like way back. I think it was 2023. I said, look, guys, 2025, Britain is going to lead. Go check my videos out. I said Britain's going to be in charge of this coalition, which they are right now. There's no denying it. And this is why Putin ranks Britain as their number one enemy. So you can expect sabotage. You can expect asymmetric warfare. You can expect grey warfare. You can expect terror attacks. You can expect more cyber attacks. This is the world we're living in, guys. This is the world we're heading into. Templar Matt is saying, stand by everyone. The British Army gets sent to Ukraine. Then our young fighting lads will be sent to Ukraine. Then the illegal migrants will rise up. Like we said, guys, we are looking at a multi-pronged attack. From now is saying, be the best army recruiter poster. It's no impost board. Immigrant hotels definitely cannon fodder for Putin. See with my own eyes on TikTok videos. Look, guys, with this context, all right, and I know I've said this lots of times. When we're talking about this context, there's no way, there's zero way that NATO, without the United States, can win the Russians. I mean, I could talk for hours about the cultural differences, the strategic benefit of using conscripts and the numbers that Russia can push forward. But there's no way, without conscripts and without a conscript army, we can't fight. With a conscript army, we have a good chance. Jenna Lana is saying, be more towards Christmas. We know the drill now. Yeah, I think we're talking about stabby, rami. Catherine Ramsey. Isn't that one of the girls off Fast and the Furious? I don't know. I've had the same thing happen to me. Okay. You guys are talking among yourselves. James is saying, at this meeting of the willing and boots on the ground, Trump is backing out. This looks like a last standoff by Europe. They'd be insane to go against the Russians. But you know what? It doesn't matter because we've got that Anglo-Saxon blood in our veins. And we're going to fight. We're going to fight, guys. That's the reality. Like, I've been in the military a long time. I'm not in the military now, so I was in the military for a long time. I still work with the military. And that Anglo-Saxon blood in the veins, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you're facing 1,000, 1,000,000, those people in the armed forces will stand there. They will form a baseline and they will say, right, let's have this. Sean, could you, with your platform and able to get information out, could you set up a petition regarding a tyrannical government? We would need to find legal experts from big companies, big legal firms, who are willing to take this on. And what they would have to do, they would have to go through the British Constitution or the English Constitution, and they would have to find those interpretations. They would have to find those interpretations, you know. But because without those interpretations and without that legal framework, we will literally, anybody who stands up against the government will just be taken down. But equally, you know how we've all written Labour off? And look, guys, I'll be quite clear. You know, I've got no inside information on this. You know how we've all written Labour off? What if Keir Starmer came out when this, let's, hypothetical scenario, guys, hypothetical scenario. You know how we've all written Labour off? Nobody's going to vote for them. What if this war with Russia starts and Keir Starmer comes out and he makes an announcement and he says, look, I get it. I'm sorry. I lied to you. We needed to get as many migrants in the country as we can because we need a conscript army, because we are heading towards a global conflict on an industrial scale, and under no circumstances is Britain going to lose. You see how the tables will be turned straight away? Do you see how those tables will be turned straight away? So look, guys, I'm just trying to give you guys my objective opinion. Right now, it looks like Labour's destroying this country. We don't know what's going to happen in the next 3, 6, 12 months' time. What we do know is this conflict in Ukraine is going nowhere, guys. Absolutely nowhere. So, Matt, hang on. I need to read Jenna Lamar's posts. Right, so bomb disposal at Heathrow. Let me Google this. Guys, it's all happening tonight. No, I'm not getting anything. Let me check on X. X usually gets this before anyone else. You are the media. Oh, no, I'm getting nothing, guys. I'm getting absolutely nothing, Jenna. Jenna, where are you getting that from? So Jenna's saying, but Jenna, tell me what exactly I need to put in X, because I'm not getting anything. Jenna, I'm getting absolutely nothing on X. Oh, okay. So your husband saw them driving there. Well, I've literally just done bomb disposal at Heathrow Airport, and like nothing. I'm getting nothing. Right, listen, guys, I am going to close this down now. There's been some breaking news while we've been on this live stream. I think the main news of tomorrow is going to be UK British boots on the ground in Ukraine. It's a reality of the situation, guys. I don't think there's ever been. I don't think we've ever been closer to a global conflict of an industrial scale like this. And look, guys, everything taken into consideration now, and I'm talking about everything. And when I consider these things, and when I give you guys my opinion, I'm giving my own opinion, all right? I'm giving my own analysis. And my own analysis comes from being in the British military, working with the Ukrainian military, understanding the culture, understanding the military-industrial complex, understanding how corruption works, understanding how governments work. Remember how I said corruption first before governments, you know, and like the breadth of the analysis I give you guys, it's beyond what anyone else can give you. And what I'm saying right now, guys, is we are heading to a global conflict on an industrial scale, and it's going to make World War II look like a child, you know, look like kids fighting in a playground. Anyway, guys, listen, I'm going to close this down now. I'm going to look more into this. I'm going to look more into this Ukraine thing. I've got my friend here. I'm going to phone him up in Ukraine. If there's something relevant, I promise you guys, if there's something relevant, I will jump back on and do another live stream tonight. But anyway, guys, apart from that, I'll be back on tomorrow morning at 10. I think I'm going to lead with that story, the UK boots on the ground in Ukraine. We said it was going to happen. It's happening. Look, guys, I've not faltered. You know how you can tell someone's telling the truth? They don't falter. They say, no, that's the way I'm going. That's what's going to happen over there. And you get all these things on the peripherals. Oh, Trump's going to have this peace deal. This is going to happen. That's going to happen. They're going to get Tomahawks. They're going to get Abrahams. They're going to get F-16s. This is a manpower issue, guys. And right now, NATO, without the United States, do not have the capacity to beat Russia. That's what I'm saying. I'm true to my word, and that is the reality. Anyway, guys, thank you for hanging out with me tonight, and hopefully, with a little bit of luck, I may be back on later. And if not, I'll be back on tomorrow morning at 10. I'll see you guys later.